now, where I get to do two interesting things about two females who have done amazing stuff.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
So the very first good news story has to do with an Ethiopian-born computer scientist who is using AI for social good. Now, if you don't know what AI is artificial intelligence. So her name actually is Redbeat Abebe, and she's an Ethiopian-born computer scientist who specializes in AI. Now, she also happens to be an assistant professor at the University of California, Berkeley, and she's also a junior fellow at the Harvard Society of Fellows. Abebe actually became the first black woman to earn a PhD in computer science from Cornell University in the United States in the year 2018. So not just is she using it for social good, but she actually has shown quite some good things for herself. Now, her research is in artificial intelligence and algorithms. We know when it comes to most of these IT technology kind of things, most of them work with algorithms. Social media, all of them, most of them use algorithms to be able to function properly, to be able to give you the best results and all those things. So she focused on AI and algorithms, and she mainly put her focus on equity and justice concerns. Now, she uses the algorithms and then the AI, and then she uses it to fight socioeconomic inequality. So her research is influenced by her upbringing in the hometown of Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. According to Abebe, she designs and analyzes algorithm, discrete optimizations, network-based and computational techniques that improve access to opportunity for historically disadvantaged communities. Now, she also discovered from a study, which actually she did towards being able to come up with this work of hers, is the fact that using AI for social good, that spurred her to design her AI project. It actually analyzes the search queries that shed light on the unmet health information needs of people in Africa. While she herself happened to be an intern at Microsoft, she discovered from her study that when it comes to demographic groups, most of them are likely to show interest in natural cures for HIV, and which countries residents are especially concerned about HIV/AIDS, the stigma, the discrimination. So she decided to use her first work that she wanted to do. She decided to use that as a large web-based data to study health across all the 54 African nations. And in an effort to inform on better health programming, Abebe is now taking the findings she got from this research to health experts in the ministries of health across the continent. So Abebe's work seemed to have informed the policy and practice at the National Institute of Health and the Ethiopian Ministry of Education. And to encourage growth in this area of study, Abebe actually co-founded the Mechanism Design for Social Good. It happens to be a multi-institutional research initiative that uses algorithms to tackle problems ranging from allocating low-income housing to improving health outcomes. Okay, so I started everything. You guys didn't realize I didn't start this time by saying she's a woman, and she's black, and she's into tech, and she's into AI and all that. Let me start right now. So, one thing Abebe noticed was the fact that when it comes into the AI tech, when you talk about the black people, when you talk about blacks, African-Americans, when you talk about Africans, when you talk about women, there was underrepresentation as well. And she did this and putting the effort to set up the institute, also the research that she's been undergoing so far. She's just doing it so that she can get more people interested in it, because it's like sometimes you don't understand the thing, so you don't know how you can use it, or you don't get how it is. So then let me just back away from because I don't understand it. But then when there's an opportunity or doors are open for people to be able to actually understand it and know how to use it or work with it, it becomes easier for them to embrace it and grow with it. They develop and they're able to solve problems using it as a tool instead of seeing it as a space where you have to be afraid of, or a space where you think you can't make it there. So she didn't just do this in an island or something. She's got a lot of people who have been interested in this research, people who have seen how beneficial it is to the continent, how beneficial it is to policy making. I mean, governments actually need these kind of information to be able to bring about or formulate policies that would help, policies that will promote, policies that will bring about development. And these are some of the things that, I mean, AGR we stand for, we look out for as well. Promoting and bringing out the good, changing the narrative is something we're very keen about over here. So when you have somebody like Dr. Abebe doing such things, there's no doubt we're going to talk about it. And there's no doubt we're actually going to urge these governmental institutions, urge these leaders and people in places of power to actually connect with such minds and be able to tap into such amazing research work. Use it to formulate policies that will bring about development and growth for the economy and for the continent as a whole. Well, that was our first AGR Good News. Moving on to our second HR Good News for today. I mean, I don't know how many of you watching this has actually ever watched Suits before. It's actually it's about law, and you have it. I mean, it was on different platforms. It's a movie. It's like a series, seasons, that kind of thing. So you watch it. The way the story is put out there, the plot and everything, it's so nice. You might start liking law yourself. You might fall in love with law yourself and might want to just get engaged in it and do it or just hold on to it. I mean, that's how nice the movie is. But if you've watched Suits before and then you know about law, then you know about Harvard and law and Suits. Yes. Well, should I say the very first time, we had the Harvard Law Review elect its first black woman president in its 130-year history. Now, she happens to be a 24-year-old, Ime Umana. She's actually of Nigerian descent. Now, Ime's father is Dr. Ime Samson Umana, and he is actually a Nigerian from Abak local government of Akwa Ibom State. Ime Umana grew up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and she's a joint degree candidate at Harvard Law School and the Harvard Kennedy School of Government. Umana was actually chosen by the Harvard Law Review's 92 student editors in what is widely considered the highest ranked position that a student can have at the Cutthroat Law School. That's what they choose to call it. Ume actually becomes the first African-American woman to lead a journal that has the largest reach of any law journal in the world. The difficult election process required a thorough dissection of her work and application and a 12-hour-long deliberation of her portfolio. Now, the first black man to be elected president was Barack Obama 27 years ago, while it has been 41 years since the first woman, Susan Estrich, was elected. So for Ime Umana to make such history, it's a big thing, and not just anywhere, but at Harvard. That is quite a feat. That is quite a feat, and she's 24 years old. So, Charlie, we're waiting to see the great things you're going to come up with when you actually come over. We're waiting to see, and you see, this is so good because she's a lawyer. She's actually going to become a good lawyer, and today we're looking at justice, so it's just going to be amazing. We're waiting for you to come out and actually start fighting and winning big and good cases for the continent against all the countries that are doing things, or corporations, these large international corporations that are actually doing things that are not benefiting us, but then it's like our hands are tied in a way, so then it's like, let's just go with it. So make room for Ime Umana. She's about to change the story for us all. Well, that's all we have for you for good news.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe, and share.